All right. Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Let's see, do we have it here? Are we there? Oh, there it is. There it is. And there's the soybeans from yesterday, and we do have and there's Bitcoin from yesterday. Let's go to the Swiss. There's the Swiss right there, and let's go to the Swiss over here on J4X. Right there, you see some strength in there, meaning the dollar is rising. So we're seeing some rising dollar action. What else can we say about this? And that seems to be the whole recipe of it all at this point. Just a firmer dollar. A little surprising. I'm not sure why they're running towards the dollar, but they are, and that's the way it's going. I did notice that the dollar index had been up for a couple days, so it's moving up too at the same time. And we can see here. Let's see, where is it at? Let's use this mouse here. There we are. Move that over there. And you can see here let's lower that volume to me. I keep on hearing me talking. There we go. And you can see over here on line 14, a couple days in a sell with the euro, and a couple days of the sell in the cable. So the two big ETFs, the two big pairs trades are being sold down. We're always thinking the dollar wants to be sold down, but sometimes it stops and they all turn up, and that's what we're seeing right now. We have been for a couple days also on line 21 and the Canadian. You can see also the other two big pairs trades in buy. So they're going in a direction that the dollar is strong, and they're buying dollars. Sometimes the flight to safety gig is kind of, it always blows my mind. It's just kind of weird to watch that flight to safety, and they run to the dollar even when the safety they're looking for is beyond us to begin with. So in other words, if there's issues with the U.S., it's basically at the same time, it's like, oh, so they run towards the dollar, and it's like, wait a minute, why are they running towards the dollar? I mean, that's just strange, But they do. That's how they play that game. So in the end result is that that's what we're seeing right now, is just strength in the dollar. I guess some paranoia. Also, they're selling stocks down, and that's what we talk about too. Is usually when the stocks, go up, the dollar seems to go down, and vice versa. And so that's where we're really at this point in time, is that obviously stock markets are getting beat up again today. Matter of fact, let's see if we can show you that too. No, not there. Let's go here. And you can see stock market. That's copper. Copper, you can see copper is still in that sell. It's had a nice run though in the buy, but it's in the sell for a couple of days here now. Let's take a look at the S&P 500 right there. You can see trying to take out these lows now. We're at the lows of the day as we speak. And you can see, the pressure has been on for a couple of days there. They're in a sell for a couple of days also. You can see the weekly has pierced down. Now, obviously, the millennial index, or the high-tech index that the Dukascopy has, which is the Nasdaq 100 here in the States, which has the fangs and so forth, that has been in a sell way back. Like I think what I did is I actually put the fact check sheet for stocks in there too, and let's see. So that's NQs, right? Oh no, it's not necessarily on NQs. That's right, because we have NQs on the this one, the commodity, the stock, the forex and commodity. But you can see there, the Nasdaq 100 or the Tech 100 on Dukascopy is 10 days in a sell right there. So we're seeing a lot of pressure, a lot of action, a lot of nervousness. It's election time, I mean, that's the crazy that always happens with election times. They get that way, and in this one in particular is got them all shook up. It's kind of like a what's his name, Elvis Presley, all shook up, and that's exactly what's going on there. It's just a pure shakeup of the marketplace. I don't see any. To me, I see the selling as profit taking to a Trump victory. That's how I see it. I can be wrong. All I'm doing in the end result is trying to figure a story to what the math is telling us. That is that there are more sellers than buyers at the moment. And so that is the recipe. IVB! Hey, what's cooking? Yo. You know, the only reason I didn't answer you sooner on the text you sent over 2 days ago was I was in the middle of trading or doing something and didn't see it. You know, I got 8 screens. I've cut back on the amount of screens I have in front of me. But with 8 screens, sometimes I don't even pay attention to that thing until out of nowhere. That's why I noticed I got chatty after when I realized that you had texted something. I started texting away. So that's the way it rolls with me. I'm doing different things, and then I don't always see everything until it's kind of like and then when I do, then I respond. That type of thing. So. All right. Let's see. Where do we go from here? We just did a little magical run around the neighborhood there. Took a look at the indices and so forth. Let's jump over to the euro. I mean, we didn't really look at the euro. It just showed you on the fact check sheet. So let's go check out euro. Let's see, not there. And there it is right there. And let's do it over on J4X too. Notice I moved this over so at least you can see something if I make my mistake. I try to not do that anymore, but sometimes I get caught on the jazz, Just get caught on the jazz. All right, and there you go. There you can see 117.22. A little more pressure on it again today. You see the white line has pierced here and so forth. You see all that action going on. A couple reds. And you can see it here at the same time. Pressure City matching up. See that? Right there. The only difference is that the weekly buy is still very cleanly through, You can see that. It's holding up. We'll see if they try to bend that thing down or if this thing starts to turn up. Because, I mean, it's pretty far down. I mean, they could take it more like that, but I don't know. We got, like I said, we'll follow the story and see how it goes. Oh, no, I will reply. I always will reply. As I always say, there was never any wrong, and this has nothing to do with what we were talking about, you and I, in our text. But as far as I'm always concerned, in trading, I will always reply to anybody in trading. It's just the question is, will it be a long answer or a short answer? That's the only difference, really. And for me, for you, I had a couple different texts for you to respond back to whatever it was we were talking about. I just was rolling along. So yeah, but I'm not dodging anybody. I'm just so rolling along. That's what it really comes down to. Hooked on the jazz. I'm hooked on the jazz. Doing so many things at once. So that is what that is. All right, now let's see. Now let's take a look at. Let's see where are we at here. Let's take a look at cable. You see the cable is doing the same thing, breaking down here. And let's take a look at it over on J4X too. Right there. Now let's just see the euro. I guess let's just take a look at this. That's holding up. Is it pressing these lows of that time period for the euro? Let's take a look and see. So that'd be right there. I'm going to go back to the euro on this just really quick. Nah, they're about the same. They seem to be falling the same way. So nothing really, horrendous going on there. And so that pressure is on. Let's see. So IVB, anything cooking? You involved in anything particular we can take a look at? I'm just going to keep on rolling through the charts here. I'll jump over to Turkish Lira. Look at that. Oh my God. 827. Look at this thing. Go to the moon. Yowzer. So it looks like we're going to get a 48th week. We're becoming 4 weeks away of a full 52 deck of cards. How long? I mean, will it top out at 52? Will it keep on rolling? Doc will be in a weekly buy for a whole year on the Turkish Lira, and it'll have gone from like 5 handle to maybe 8 or 9 handle. Who knows? Oh, hey, how you doing? Cable, British pound yen. Let's check that out. I think I got some box on that thing, right? Weren't we looking at a box in that, like some type of head and shoulders thing? Yeah, there it is. There it is, right there. So this is supposed to be a head and shoulders, and now it's doing the dip again. You can see here on the daily. Let's see what we got there. Okay, you can see here on the daily. It's also falling through daily sell for 3 days or two full days, and you can see the weekly is trying to bend over there. Let's see what it looks like on J4X. Right there. I'm sure the white lines. Yep, look at that. If we tighten it up, look at that. Yeah. Now that's interesting. We were in a. You can see here we were in a weekly sell, and then it went into the buy, and then we went into that was all right. We went into a daily buy here, but nothing spectacular out of it. Look at this. This was a long daily buy, and we were still in the weekly sell. The only way to trade that is options or intraday hit and run and hope, that type of thing. Faresh, how you doing? Check, yes, definitely check. Check to see if you want to see anything. I'll gladly show it. Retest 25. Retest 25 on what's that? On I'm sorry. Let me think what product we might have been looking at. Uh, which product is that we'll test the 25 on? I forgot already what we were looking at. That's how mechanical I am. In the next 2 weeks. Oh, was it the Turkish Lira maybe? So like 825, that type of thing? I forgot what trade we were talking about. I'm so mechanical. I am. I just watched the math, really. I come up with, and that's kind of like a tip-off when I tell you my opinion of what I think the fundamental is. It's kind of weird. Doc goes on to one of these kind of esoteric wonderlands inside his head about what the fundamental is. Since we don't trade fundamental, I just like it's like let's create a story. Let's see if we can define what the story could be. What does the math tell us? It's telling it's going down or up. That's what it does. But no, I go well. Maybe that's got to do with the price of milk in Calcutta. I don't know. It's like, who knows? Oh my God! Sometimes I crack myself up. It's just some of the ideas that flow through my head. And the end result is I have the leeway to do that because I can trust my math here. So that's pretty cool. So then I go, okay, let's see what the fundamental could be. And sometimes I'm right. The fundamental makes sense, and sometimes the fundamental is so off course, But then that's fundamentals. Who can trade by fundamentals anymore? I mean, Giannis has made that very, very clear. So, yeah, I'm gonna instead it's a your Gertha. Your Gertha. I'm just gonna call you 47. That's even easier. 47. Yeah, that's exactly me. It's just like when you have a tool that can be right 8.5 out of 10 times, I can find all kinds of fundamental oddballs that would justify saying, oh, maybe that's doing it, or maybe this is doing it. I mean, we see the fundamentals at times. There is some validity to them. I mean, we do know that there's some, but we wouldn't want to trade off that. I mean, honestly, like this morning I was watching, one financial channel. I've been watching Fox now. I've gotten fed up because they put one of these guys from Fox on CNBC that I really disliked, Shepard somebody or another, and so I've stopped watching CNBC altogether now, and so I watch on the financial shows is Fox Business News. They have their own financial channel too, and so I'm watching that. And what was the point? I had a point there, and so Oh yeah, they were talking about the earnings and stocks. I think it was this morning. The earnings were really good in a lot of companies. And then the announcer says, "But they're all down." So there you have the fundamentals saying, "Oh my goodness, you want to be long these things," but everybody's selling them. Again, it goes back to the old floor idea. You know, buy on rumor, sell on news. Or if you want to try to buy these stocks, let's take them down first. Sell a little bit more, sell a little bit more, move away from your bids, get other sellers in there, that type of thing. Try to get everybody to believe it's going down. Then they start to short it, and then you buy it to get long. And they're shorting to you. And as they're selling it to you, you start stepping up with the big dollars. And so now you're saturating the market on the upside. And now the shorts are starting to get nervous. Like, wait a minute, where were those sellers that were there for like the last 10 days or the last 2 or 3 weeks? Where'd they go? Oh, I'm sure they're gonna come back. It's like, nope, the pros have been trying to draw you in. That's all. It's like a card game. And next thing you know, everything is flying along. They're making new highs, and the shorts are now in total panic. Now they've got to buy, which means that the longs that have gotten long throughout that process have now have the opportunity to sell to somebody, because you got, for every buyer there's a seller, and for every seller there's a buyer. So someone's got to buy it from you. So it's got to be something like that. All right. So where are we? There it is. GPY, matching with the cable. Exactly that. Anybody else want to see anything else? Let's see what else we got up on here. I saw. What else did I see on here? Oh, let's take a look at Canadian. Canadian went into a daily buy too. Whoa, look at that today. They're really jacking that puppy. So it's also, everybody's doing this over the same time period. I thought I put a buy number line in there before. So we went into the buy there and danced with it hard there and made you sweat bullets. It's in the weekly sell, so you could only be long the options, and then zoom like a whole 100 handle move overnight there. So that's pretty cool. All right. Let's see, what other products can we go after. Now, when we usually look at the Canadian, we drift over to the NASCAD right there. And NASCAD's been in a buy, so we keep on thinking that, crude oil is going to get going. But then if the Canadian is rising, then crude oil has pressure on it. So let's take a look at crude oil. Last I looked, it was down. So, I know there's pressure on it. Let's see, where is it at? Right there. That's the one we that's cool. Okay. Yeah, so they're putting that pressure on it, and we're not getting the move. And boy, it does look like a reverse head and shoulders. And if it just completes itself here, stops and starts to turn up, then that would really match the reverse head and shoulders going on there, which we thought was the same thing happening in let's go back to that GBP JPY, right? We thought that there was a reverse head and shoulders going on there. Where's that at? Right there. Where are you? We'll get to it. There you are. There you are. So yeah, that's why we have that rectangle there. We really thought this was developing into a reverse head and shoulders, and that was the other shoulder, and then it was going to take off. And then we thought this was the handle. Yeah, see, that was the handle to the saucer, I guess you could say. But now we've broken this channel here, so there's some pressure on it. So that's what I say about that. I was, like I said, we're hoping that we were going to see better out of it, but we're not seeing better out of it. So that is the action that we're seeing. All right. Anybody have anything you want to look at? We got the crude oil. We just showed you that. Trying to think what else we have going on. If not, we'll just keep on rolling along. So we'll go over to gold. Gold's seeing some pressure too. Let's see, gold. Let's do gold on J4X first. Right there, there's gold. Yeah, see that pressure on it. Yeah, it's underneath the $1,900 area. I think we're in a weekly sell on that. Let's go check that out too at the same time. And right there. Let's see. Not there. There. Yeah. So we've been in a weekly sell for a couple of weeks. And it's making that next roll over, I guess. Now, I guess they're going after these lows here. What's that? The 50s, right? I think we're in the 70s, right? 76 is the low. So it's got a little bit more damage to do, I guess. And closed in a sell there yesterday. Let's check out the silver. We did this yesterday. We ran through all the silver products because of this. Ooh, they're really doing a smack-a-doodle on Mr. and Mrs. Silver, aren't they? And they always do that. Boy, I swear, there's like nobody out there to hold that thing up. Seems like the moment they start to press on it, boy, do they roll that thing over. And it's an odd thing to see it like that, but they do. Let's check it out on J4X. Right there. There it is. So, pressure on that too. You can see the 2368. And it's spot, and it's only carrying 4 cents over. That's not too bad on the offer. And that's been in a sell for, I don't know, what the 1, 2, 3, 3 full days. Look at this, the weekly. I saw that yesterday. I saw it this morning when I sent it the charts to Robin. I was like, look at this thing. It's trying to get into the weekly. Whereas I guess gold is doing the opposite, right? Yeah. No, actually, yeah. No, it's down. That's all. It's just down. Whereas the silver is actually trying to get up. We'll see what they try to do with that. That could be an interesting story to see what's going on. I read something about a couple days ago, and I know I didn't mention it. I meant to mention it at the time about the big find in the Russian Federation of 67 million ounces of gold. So, I was wondering if that was the pressure on that was the fundamental that put some pressure into the metals of recent. 67 tons. 67 tons? What did I say it was? I forget now. Yeah, maybe that's a 67 tons or 67,000 tons. I don't know, 66,000? Yeah, I guess 67,000 tons, I guess. Something like that. Anyway, so there is some inventory coming in again. And that's what we're starting to see there. Yeah. I'm waiting to see if anybody wants to see anything. If not, we'll just keep on rolling along here. I know that copper's moving down. And I guess platinum, let's see what platinum's doing. But I would assume platinum is rolling over also. Yeah. Right there. Gave us the little volatility signal too, which was cool. All right. Now, what else can we look at when it comes to the commodity complex? Oh, yeah, copper's taking a smackadoodle also. You know what I'm curious to see is what lumber's doing. See what's that fundamental economics thing. Yeah, there's copper. There's putting the pressure on that. Let's check out lumber. Lumber had such a nice wild run. And it's going really sleepy there. Let's go with the front month. There's November. And it's trying to turn up. It's trying. But the weekly's still a minus here. No comments anywhere. Okay. So we'll just keep on rolling along. Let's see. Oh, I noticed that the 10-year bond or note / bond has been rolling firm. It's climbing back up in here. So let's see. So that means interest rates, if it's rising in price, interest rates are dropping. So interest rates are dropping, and our currency is rising. Talk about fundamentals being all over the place. Maybe a glance at. Oh yeah, let's check it out. Hey, I'll look at anything. Let's see, where are we at here? Let's do it on here first. There's the peso there, 21.29. And then let's go over to here. Yeah, strength there too. Let's see. Right there we are. And right there. Now that's cable Mexican peso and then dollar Mexican peso. There we go. Yeah, they're pumping it up there. Now the weekly, you can see the weekly line is buried. Let's see if it's starting to turn up. I don't think it is. Let's contract that just a little bit. Tighten it up. Yeah. Played with these lows here, didn't it? Now we're starting to get a little jacking. And this thing's getting into a daily buy with no problem. But they got a lot of work to do over here. We could see here on that long slide, went into the buy, and then by the end of the week, it got into a weekly buy. But that's awful low like that, so you would think that we'd have more of that. But then again, see, the time manifolds are starting to tighten too. So that's an interesting looking glance, you know. Over on the J4X, you can see that thing is jacking itself up. Look at them run. Busting off the screen just about. So yeah, that's no problem. Let's see. I'm long it yesterday at 20.88. Good. Good. Interesting. We saw that. Where's the mouse at? There it is. You can see right here. We had volatility dots right there. Volatility dots there, and then an up, and then the rest of it was down. In this case here, it's volatility dots. Maybe this time it's the other way, the inverse relationship. The inverse relationship. Yeah, the peso. You know, what was it? Trump was saying something about the military and so forth, about the idea of having the U.S. as a neighbor. You know, how Canada and Mexico don't have to spend as much money on military for that. Something about ballistic missiles or something. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That's what caught my eye. You know, it gets down to that extreme low, and then if we get in, we obviously, if we stay here, it's closing in a daily buy, and do they get a couple of days of action on the upside there? And I would imagine that's the way it plays itself out in the end. Let's see. Let's see. What else can we say about this? I guess the biggest thing out of it all is how deep this has gotten on the weekly. Also, this, when it did it last time or this time, notice that the manifold was widening. In this case here, it's contracting. When's the last time we've seen such a tight manifold? All the way back to February. Wow. What in Sam Hill is that? Look at that move. Wow. Jeez. That's one heck of a move. Yeah, that's like, I don't know if we're going to see anything like that, but wow. And that's the manifold was that tight from it, but it started here. It took 6 weeks to get it to there to go do this. And it does have that same characteristic. And I guess that's what this is like the little hump. Now the question is this going to be a bigger hump that takes out the highs and challenges that to the 24? I don't know. We'll see. I will just watch the numbers as we always do around here. Just watching the numbers and seeing, how it plays out. In the end result, that is always the answer, traders. No matter what, in the end, that is the answer. We watch the math, and the math tells us in the end. As much as I like to try to figure out what a fundamental part of it could be, in the end result is that the fundamental part is rarely the key component there. It's always our math that we're recognizing, seeing, and in the end, playing off of, and that's pretty much the answer to all of it at this point, is that we watch that and we see that, and in this case here, when you see something like the time manifold get tight like that, we look to see if there's some insight to that situation, and that's where we're at the moment. All right. Let's see. Let's minimize that, and let's go over to, and we can widen this out again, and we'll see if maybe they come challenge this area to 22s, or was that what you were talking? What were you talking about? 25? You were thinking 25. Wow. Some of these things are setting up for it. I mean, you got the time manifold way down. It's tight. It could play out over a 4 or 5 week period to the 25s. That wouldn't be that far-fetched whatsoever, actually. That would make sense. As we see back further, back in February of last year, and markets are nervous, in that characteristic too. Oh, no problem. Hey, like I said, I'm happier to look at different products that everybody wants to see, solely because maybe I'll find a trade. Know there's something I can trade and jump in on. I'm doing, so many different little things here and there and trading a narrower vision. But, and I don't, and sometimes if I'm really desperate and I haven't found a trade, I'll go look on the spreadsheet and start looking through things. But it's a lot easier if somebody on the webinar would just say, let's go look at X or let's go look at Y. Because this way, other people are looking around like I am, and then next thing I know, I can put my math to it, and I can see if there's something there to be had or not. That's the way my mind works. Let's see, what else? Let's see what the Zolti's doing. It's making that move up. We've broken the 60 area. How about that? What a solid product. All right. Let's see. So I'm going to go back to the commodity side only because I'm waiting for somebody else to say, hey, Doc, let's go look at this. Take a peekaboo at that. Now let's see what's going on there. You can see here the Nasdaq still showing all its pressure here on the daily. And I think we've already looked at that. That's right. We showed that it was like 9 or 10 days. And then the S&P, did we look at? Yeah, we did the S&P. That's just a couple of days where it slid in and out right there with that stuff, and then crushed those city. And now we're playing with the weekly sells on both of those products. Let's see. Natural gas was interesting in the sense of that big move up yesterday, which pushed us into the buy. And today they're pushing some pressure on it there. But I know that Robo is going the other way. The fuel for the automobiles is falling down, so that's kind of curious in its own right. That and since crude oil is going down, that's what's driving Robo at the same time. Alrighty, now what's next to do? What to do? What to do? What to do? Let's see. We looked at lumber and so forth, and let's take a look at Bitcoin. See what the Bitcoin's doing. Oh yeah, trying to push into the self easily now, pushing hard. So, let's see what the other Bitcoin's doing. The December one. I think they're both the same, really. Yeah, same type of action. And the good thing is that at least this thing was nice on an upwardly projection. I like that. Maybe now they're selling some Bitcoin to be able to buy on. I always slide into what could be the story. What could be the fundamentals to it. If there's any selling going on in the cryptos, it's probably because they're taking the assets to go buy stocks with it selling off. Let's see, what else is there? Russell. Let's check out the Russell. There's the Russell right there. Making lows. Feeling the pain. It's been like everything else. It's been in a sell for a couple of days, but the weekly there is holding up really well. Now let's go check out the Dow Jones Industrial Average. There's the Dow, and the Dow doing the same thing except for the weekly has pierced it all week long, and the daily's been in a sell from here, from that one right there. So it's it's catching the Dow's been catching the sell off. It's and it's kind of interesting. The Dow is. I mean, it's got some it's got some real powerful or strong products in it. I guess that's the best way to describe it is strong products. Let's see. So yeah, I mean that is the thing about that. The Dow has Cisco Systems in there. Has Microsoft in there and Intel, and at the same time it has something like Boeing and I think General Motors is in there still. If not, it's got like Verizon and AT&T. Resend. Okay, we can do that. Let's go. Robin's missing a chart, so let's find it. Let's see. There it is. Let's see if we have the charts in there. Just doing a quick one for Robin. There we are. There, and let's do it to I. And there. There we are. So, yeah, I mean it's got an interesting combination when you think about it. Cisco Systems, Intel, Microsoft, and at the same time it has some dead stuff like Verizon and AT&T. They're just basically cell phone companies at this point. It's not like the old days when Ma Bell was cutting edge technology and a monopoly at the same time and a utility at the same time. So it's really, really curious, when you see this and you look at these products, what this to think of it all. It was. Can you imagine? It was a utility, and it was a monopoly, and what else was it? And a technology company, all rolled into one. Ma Bell. When they broke that company up, the stock went from something like $18 a share to something crazy like $175 a share. It was wild. Reminds me of and back when IBM is in the Dow Jones too. And IBM, I remember when IBM they were the inventors of the RAM chip, the random access memory chip, and or processor, I guess you could combination of it. And so when they did that, the stock had just split like $140 or $150 a share, so down to like 70 or 60 or something like that. So I guess it was like the stock might have gone to 160 and they split it to 80, and then I think the stock fell down into the 60s. So they had split it, so it was down about I don't know 20 or 20% or something like that. And then one weekend they came out and announced that they had invented the RAM, random access memory part, and the stock the next day was like on Monday it was like the stock was trading at like $170 a share. It was up like $100 or something. Ripped the life out of a lot of people. So that's the technology era, and that's what it's all about. That's why in many ways when people like this morning I was watching like I said a financial news network, and they were talking about the fangs, and this one manager seemed to be pretty sharp. So we trade for dividends only, and that's all our minds are set on is just the dividends. So we don't really pay attention to the fangs because they're overpriced, and they don't have the dividend yield. And I thought, that's interesting. And but and how can you really define overpriced when they're cutting edge technology? See, that's the problem. I can say this. I know I'm going into memory lane here, but there was a point where digital equipment, which was just started off as a simple little company, and the chairman broke all the rules the way Dell did, in a sense, of not having factories and storing things and so forth, and They would build it once you were ordering it, and digital was a networking company, but we really didn't have much of a network. And AT&T was using them for networking, and we didn't have any wireless or anything like that back then. And so the stock got to a point where it was like $200 a share back in the mid early 80s, late 70s. It was $200 a share, but they didn't have anywhere near the earnings. And people would be shaking their head all the time, like, we can't buy that. They have no dividend. They're just way overpriced. But sure enough, they were so far ahead of the curve that money knew it. Just like the way you look at Tesla with batteries, and some of these FANG stocks. They were so far ahead on the tech side that money knew that one day the earnings was going to appear, and of course it did. Digital equipment was the number one networking system. And end result, they are now merged with Cisco systems. So I guess in some way you can say is digital equipment, in the end, ended up in the Dow Jones Industrial Average because Cisco is in there, and they're owned by Cisco Systems. I think they got bought originally from Compaq Computer. Compaq Computer then got bought by Cisco Systems. And so that's how it all commingled in the end. But that is... one of the risks of playing around with tech stocks, and you think, oh, I can sell it. It's too overpriced. Not really. You just don't know how much money is sitting on the sidelines and holding it up at the same time, saying, we're not letting you in. We're just not letting you in. Because it's undervalued. In the future, it'll be undervalued. And that's one of the challenges. Now, in currencies, you can see that to some extent. Very little overall. And I think that you could say that's what happens to the dollar at times. The dollar becomes overvalued because people see the dollar as a place to go that is good to invest in. And that's the way it plays. Really, that's the way it plays. They see that the American continent is something that can be invested in. And so they keep on buying the dollars when, you go, oh, well, look at all the debt they have, or, the low interest rate. It doesn't justify it. But, you know what? It's more of an interest rate than most other countries, or at least countries that you're going to get your money back on. Also, it has enormous amounts of liquidity. The Chinese would not have $1 trillion invested here, or the Japanese wouldn't have $1 trillion invested here, or the rest of the world wouldn't have a couple $1 trillion invested here. And if it wasn't liquid. Same thing with the American public. We control or own almost 50% of the bonds, the debt. It's because there's nowhere else to go. You try to go to Europe, you can only get so much out of England. There's just not enough, size. And then after that, it goes downhill quick. I guess there must be some Swiss bonds that can be trusted for. But the rate there is so minus. You don't get an interest rate. You're paying to own those bonds, and there's 15 trillion in dollars or euros out there in minus. They don't pay any dividend, no interest. You have to pay to own them, and that's a hard sell for money managers that sell to their investors, because they're probably saying, go buy corporates, go buy something else. And they don't appreciate how illiquid some of those things are. So, all right, where are we at? What are we looking at? Oh, that was the Dow Jones Industrial Average, yeah. So, and did I put the Russell up there? I know I was thinking about putting the Russell up there. Yes, I did. I did look at the Russell there. Let's just go back to it again. There's the Russell right there. You can see that's aiming down. But look at the weekly. The weekly doesn't seem to be that bearish as much as this is rolling over. Maybe it will come challenge this 1500 again. It's not, it's basically it's the replacement for the Nasdaq, since the Nasdaq now is the Tech 100 and has the creme of la creme, the best of the best when it comes to tech companies. Apple and Amazon and Apple and Amazon, yeah, and Facebook and so forth that are in demand. So. Okay, let's see, what else do we look at here today? I know we'll come up with something. let's go take a look at. Let's see. There's the DAX. Let's see what the DAX up to. DAX was getting the pressure on it too. As you can see here in that weekly, we've been in the weekly since back here. Right here, I guess it is. We went to the weekly there. I thought we marked this thing. And so, you know, it went in the weekly on that close, and then, and I guess we were in a daily sell from here. No, from back here. So we're daily sell from here. Tried to go into the buy. You see that? Took it up, and now they've taken out these lows. There's the DAX ETF. And that's pretty much the way the and I guess the Ftse is probably doing the same thing. Let's see, find the Ftse. Where's the Ftse? I think the Ftse is over here on this one. There it is, right there. And the Ftse was in a weekly buy from here, and now it's pushing under, just like the same way that the Nasdaq and the S&Ps and so forth have been in buys, and they're just starting to roll over here. Yeah, there's the sell right there. Let's put that in. We didn't fix that last time when we did this. That and that and that. There we are. And then it went into the buy there, so let's put that in there. And now they're just flirting with that with less than a week to go in the election. So definitely a lot of cross currents with the election. That's another one of my fundamental opinions. Obviously, just trust my math. It's a lot easier than trying to figure out what the fundamentals might be. Boy, you can see that the DAX is the Ftse is taking just as hard a punch in the chin as the DAX is. Let's see, I guess we can go right here for it. And they're both getting pounded over $1 down in their ETF here in the States. This thing's yeah. Let's see, that's going in 50-cent increments. So this is a little bit less, but still a lot of pressure on it. What else? Let's see. All right. Let's see. Oh, let's see what the chat line had. We got some stuff on the chat line. Daniel's in the house. Daniel, I just saw the chat line. Turkish Lira. How about that? We're gonna throw that back up for you. Yeah, I was tempted to go back to the Turkish Lira myself. Yeah, I really was. I mean, I was saying before you came in, I was saying something about it'll be 48 weeks or 49 weeks coming in now. Let's see, where's that? That's line 17? 17. So we're 47 weeks. We're going to be going for 48 weeks this week. I doubt it's going to find a way to flip out there. Interesting. Amazon and BAB went up while the rest of the markets go down. Let's go check it out. Let's see. Open workspace. Yeah, I know that Amazon was in a weekly buy. I think BAB is in the sell now, though. Let's see what it does there. Let's see. Let's close one of these two. We'll go with that. We'll close that one down too. Close. There we are. And there we are. And let's go find... There's Amazon. Yeah, see, well, you can see that. And this is live right now. It's down for the day, but not crushed on any level there, you know. Let's refresh it there. But it's down, you know, because it settled last night at 3286, 3,286. And right now, 86, you can see it's trading down $45. It's at 32.41 there. See that right there? So... But it's holding up pretty well. But look at the weekly. Weekly is trying to pierce. What are we in? That was a weekly sell. So We went back into the weekly buy here. Let's put that weekly buy in there. Right there. Okay. Yeah, so it's trying to, climbed into the weekly buy here. Got that nice little pop up from the 32 to the 34 area, a couple $100. And then now it's flirting is the best way to describe it there with the weekly sell. Now there's BABA. Now that's been holding up in a buy for a while. All the way back in March, right? Something like that. There's February. Slid into a sell here at the lows. And back into the buy again? No, here's some sells there. Back in June it was in a sell here. And it's been in a buy since this area here in the June. It's been a nice move too. So what's that? That's from that is from the 207 area to the 319 area, something like that. That's been interesting. Let's see what else Daniel says there. Let's see. There's also ZM and Shop, but Dukascopy doesn't have them. ZM. Oh, meal. You mean soybean meal? ZM. We can take a look at that. Let me just double check if you're asking about anything else in this sector. Silver. And Amazon closed at 86 now. Yeah, right. Exactly. So let's close that. And let's go over to meal. ZM is soybean meal. Open. There we go. Yeah, Dukascopy has soybeans though. You can trade soybeans with Dukascopy. Not the meal. And there is soybean meal, ZM. You see it's pressing into the sell today. It's been in a buy for a while. Since back here. Which was a nice run. It went from the $3 area all the way up to over 380. And let's see, kind of topped out there. Nothing major. I guess you can see the buys have been okay. And this one was the sloppiest of them all. Actually, this one didn't make any money, that buy. So no surprise there with the sell. Shopify. Oh, Shopify. I don't know the symbol on it. Is that a Dow Jones Industrial Average? Or they have something in there. One of the shopping things. Let me go take a look real quick on the list of the. Let's go take a look at the list of the Dow Jones stocks in the Dow 30. They have something in there. They have one of those things like that. Let me see what it is. I don't know if it's Shopify or not, but we'll find it in a second, and you can tell me. Let's see, Barron's right there. There we go. And data and Market Lab, and there we go. Okay, there it is. Let's make that bigger. We can go and take a look and see. Here's the list of the Dow stocks too, so we can go look at them. We can find where to take it to. There it is. There's the Dow stocks. In fact, we can make it even bigger and brighter, like that. And you can see 3M, American Express. Where is it at? There's Cisco Systems. So you got Apple in there. You have Amgen and Apple. That's 2. You have Cisco Systems is 3. You have Intel 4. You have Microsoft 5. I think Nike is 6. Salesforce, that's what it is. Underneath Procter & Gamble. So they have Salesforce in there. So Salesforce, that's not Shopify. No. Okay. And so that's the they have like 7 Nasdaq stocks in there, which is very impressive. Oh, ZM is Zoom. Okay, Zoom Communications. Yeah, that thing has run away. It is amazing that something like a I saw these analysts talking about it about 3 months ago, and they were saying, "Isn't it amazing that like Skype had it in their hands, and now Zoom has taken it out of their hands. Yeah, yeah, it is something. And Shopify, I'm not sure about Shopify. I don't know much about it. Market cap of 128 billion, and the symbol is what? Shop. Let's see. Where do we go here? Let's see if we can find a way of looking at some of the stocks here. Let's see. Not that. Not that. Not that. Okay. Let's do this. Let's go back to that. There we are. And let's see if we can just find these stocks, you know, just to take a look at them price wise. 156 billion. Yeah, I know. It's amazing. They let these things get out of their hands. I'm you know, kind of amazed myself that they actually got away with that, but they did. You know, I mean, there's Yahoo Finance. Let's just take a look at them through there. So SHP shop. And what I can do is, you know, what we can do is we can put these in. Let me do this. Let's close this and let's put them in a chart so we can see what our math does with them, you know? And let's do that. So file, open workspace, and let's switch this over to, instead of looking through it through a primitive way. Okay, let's see if it switches. It should be switching, but it's not switching. Let's see, why is it not switching? There we go. Okay, now let's cancel. Okay, there we go. So now let's let me see here. Let's go with oh, I know where I'd want to go. So we'll close this. No, I closed the wrong one. What am I closing there? Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay, so we'll close this. And what we'll do is we'll open this up instead. Let's go to here, charts. I put stuff in there for Dukascopy that a lot of the times. Stuff like this. So let's put Shopify in there. And let's see. So there is, we can use that. I don't like that color. VIX. All right, we can take that. We'll copy this. Copy that window, file, paste that window, and then let's do this. Format, and we'll put shop in there. Let's see what that looks like. Add shop, SHOP. Yeah, I don't think we even have that. Smart. That's Toronto Exchange. We need to be smart in the United States. There it is. Okay. And then, what was the other one? Zoom, right? What's the symbol on Zoom? Let's see. Is the symbol for Zoom Zoom? Let's do this first. Let's do this one first. Okay, now we go like shop. I can go look at Zoom real quick, find out what the symbol is. It's just ZM, okay. Alright, and let's do this too. That's closed there. Let's recycle this whole thing. There we go. And we're using a Super 5, so let's see what that looks like. Okay, so we're just using the 5 out of it. Okay, that's cool. And you can see this thing is lifting up. It's through the time manifold. Let's move that out of the way. Let's make the histogram black. Makes it a little bit better. There we are. And you can see the strength in it there for this. This is shop. There's the daily. This is pretty trending nice. Look at that. Went into the sell here. Went into a buy there. Let's grab that sell. We're running out of time. Then it pushed you into a sell there. Let's grab this buy right here. Pushed you into a buy there. Let's grab that sell. And then it pushed you back into the sell right there. No, the next day because of the double dots. Gave you volatility too and moved down. And now we are flirting with the weekly buy, a daily buy number, I see. And it's still in a weekly buy like that. Now let's do this. Let's put zoom in there. And then we're going to get going because it's the webinar is getting to the end of the road here. Let's see. So we go like that. Add ZM. ZM. Let's see, ZM Smart. It's a Nasdaq. There it is. Okay, now let's put that in there. Same thing here. And okay, so this has been in a buy too. We can move this over more like that. So it's been in a buy since here, the 300s. Where'd it go to? Is that $547? Trying to get into a weekly sell this week. You can see here, we went into the sell here, right there, but it hasn't really done anything but sideways down. That was the buy for that. The last sell was here, which was not exactly anything to write home about. I mean, it was a win, but not that great a win. And then you can see it's finally turned up again. And then the last buy here was there. So, and then let's move that over and move that there. There you go. I hope that helped you out. And we're getting out of here. So this is Doc from North America, stumbling and bumbling on Happy to Hump Day. All right, traders, we will catch you tomorrow. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Tomorrow, of course. Happy trails to you, to all our traders.